If we are not anything, we are prompt. It's Uncle Odd. Welcome to the Uncle Vigilante Show. This is the show that's dedicated to newbies. And here are not anything. We are prompt. It's Uncle Odd.
You know what would
Welcome to the Uncle Vigilante Show.
what would this be without a rookie mistake right out of the blocks, guys? Because I need to always mute my YouTube because there's a 20-minute delay. But anyway, let me start that over. I'm Uncle Odd, Uncle Vigilante. You can call me Uncle V. And welcome to what we hope to be a weekly show, which is going to be called, or is called, Kid Tested, Uncle Approved. The Uncle Vigilante channel is dedicated to you and me. We're newbies, and we're going to talk about being a newbie. And I'm just going to admit something to you right now. I got into cryptocurrency the second week of January, and it is mid-April. And I will tell you that cryptocurrency, this blockchain ecosystem, has changed my life. And I'm not even kidding you. It has changed my life for the better. So this is your safe space. Turn on your TV. You see all the craziness that's happening out there. Back the bus up. Turn off that TV. Turn off all the craziness out there. Just join us, because what we're going to do tonight with Kid Tested, Uncle Approved, I'm going to tell a little story, and ultimately it's going to lead to, I'm not even going to say my guest. I'm going to call Dan Kidd. He's my co-host. And I just want to tell you guys something. I'm a business guy, and there's one character trait in business that I have always appreciated my entire life. And I look for it, and I try to exude it. But it's finding people who lead with their chin versus their hand out. What do I mean by that? That means that when there is an issue, or when you are in need of something, you'll find those people out there that'll say, I'll do this for you, but first you got to do this for me. Well, when I got into cryptocurrency, I ended up in a Telegram group to where I was so new, I just didn't know anything. You perhaps have seen my clip to where it is my disclaimer. I will add it at the end of this show, which is, I don't know shit. So don't take anything that I say as investment advice, or any of my guests as investment advice, because we're not investment advisors. We are learning with you. Crypto is hard until it's not. And so there's hope. So any of you out there who are joining us, who have probably, if you're joining us tonight, you have a little bit of experience in this world of cryptocurrency, but you know that it's a whole different language. It's like if somebody just dumped you in Spain and you didn't even have survival Spanish on your side. You know, that's kind of what it's like to get into cryptocurrency. And let me tell you how I met this gentleman here, Dan Kidd, who, by the way, that is his pseudo name. That's not his real name, but that is the beauty of the internets, is that I can be Uncle V and Dan can be Dan Kidd, because we wanted to hatch this series, this weekly series, which if you tune in on Friday nights or Saturday nights, we're giving us that little bit of flexibility in case we're busy one of the two nights. But 7 p.m. on one of those two nights, we're going to come to you on a weekly basis to talk about cryptocurrency and to try to be able to help you newbies. And I'm putting myself right there with you. Try to help you navigate this ecosystem so that you can benefit financially. And bottom line is, this is fun. Once you get into it, you start dealing with a whole different community. All of the negative of this world goes away because you're super focused on something that's new, that's leading edge. It's no longer bleeding edge. So there are safety barriers that we're going to help you with to be able to keep your money safe, because with cryptocurrency, the first and foremost thing that you need to understand is you become your own bank. And there is risk in that, because there are ways that you can screw up, and there are ways that you can lose everything if you don't do it right. But don't fear that. Don't fear that, because we're going to help you. We're going to help you. But when I got involved, and I'm just going to tell the story, if you've heard it before, bear with us, because we may have some new folks. We've recently gone over 1,000 subscribers, which makes us a teeny tiny channel out there. But I love each and every one of you, and I am grateful for you. And it's going to grow, because if you're watching this right now, you're going to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. You're going to go to t.me/Uncle Vigilante. And so I'm going to always broadcast there when we're going to go live, so you never have to worry. But if you do that, then you can join us on our journey. And we hope that you find it not only financially beneficial, but we hope you find it fun. I mean, it's brought so much joy to my life, I can't even tell you. I haven't been around for a while because I've been working on some things that we are going to share with you, or I'll share with you tonight. But I want to just tell you the story of how I got in. I got in the second week of January, to where I had a bonus check, if you will, commission check. And just coincidentally, I had somebody from a discussion group on Telegram, a different one, say, he's a dude guy, saying, dude, you got to buy XRP. You got to get into XRP. And I'm like, what's XRP? And he's like, it's cryptocurrency. And I'm like, yeah, know nothing about it. But okay, I'm open. Tell me, what do I do? And he told me to go to Coinbase Pro, or go to Coinbase first, sign up for an account, then you can upgrade it to Coinbase Pro later, which you always want to do. And he taught me about Exodus wallet. So you can download an Exodus wallet on your computer. You want to dedicate a computer to cryptocurrency. You don't want it to be the same computer you use every day, for safety purposes, because when you are done transacting anything cryptocurrency, you want to be able to take your computer offline, and ultimately we'll teach you and talk to you about an offline cold storage wallet. Makes no sense to you, probably. Didn't make sense to me. But there are things called the ledger, or my favorite is the Trezor T, that basically is your little piggy bank that is secure. That's where your money ends up being. So it's either going to be on a hot storage wallet, which is going to reside on your computer in your browser, or it's going to be on your Trezor T, your offline cold storage wallet. Why can't you put everything on your offline cold storage wallet? Because they don't accept all of the coins that you may get into. So it's just a fact of life. But that's how you keep safe, is when you're done transacting, if you're holding some coins on your computer, on your browser, what do you call them? And Dan, when you add the wallet to your browser, an extension. Thank you. It's a wallet extension. You want to turn your computer off after you're done, disconnect it from the internet, because when it is off, then you are safe. No nasty hacker can go and steal your stuff. So we'll talk about that. So I got into it, and I was like, okay, XRP, boom. Figured out how to be able to, on Coinbase Pro, buy it and store it on my Exodus wallet. I didn't have a Trezor T at the time. He said, order it right away. And that's always good advice. Whenever you begin, just go ahead and bite the bullet, spend the money to go to Amazon and get a Trezor T cold storage wallet. And it'll take maybe a couple weeks, because they're very popular, to be able to get. But that's okay. You can keep everything on your Exodus wallet in the beginning. Now, understand what we are going to talk about, there are other ways to do it, but I'm just going to tell you what I did, because I don't know about you, but I like to be told what to do. If I know something is kid tested, uncle approved, then I know it's safe. And that's what we want to bring to you, is the safe way to get into cryptocurrency. So I bought XRP, and I got in at 22 cents, and it went up like almost immediately to 28 cents. I'm like, oh, cool. And so I took a little off the table, sold some or exchanged some, and I got a little Bitcoin. And man, I was in the Bitcoin game and stuff. And then XRP got delisted from Coinbase. And that was sad. It was due to an SEC lawsuit. So that was one of those, damn, what did I get into? Well, there's good news. We're mid-April now, and that 22 cents that I bought, now it's trading around. It got up to about like $2, and now it's trading around. It's settled around $1.65 or whatever. But I've never realized those kind of gains in any stocks. I mean, you're talking about within just a few months that you quintuple your investment, if not more. So that was kind of cool. So I then ended up hearing about this the Crypto Vigilante, and he had a summit. It's called the Crypto Vigilante Summit. And so I signed up for it because I'm a newbie. I don't know shit. And so it was a 2-day seminar, and I got in there and I realized, whoa, these guys are talking way over my head. I kind of got frustrated. I'm like in the second day, and I thought it would be more of a 101 type thing, but there was somebody in there that I noticed was leading with his chin, not his hand out. The nicest guy in the world. And he was so helpful to me, spent just a ton of time with me, helping to make sense out of all of this seeming chaos. And that was this guy here, Dan Kidd. And we just gotten to be friends over the last few months. And that's the cool thing about this community, is it's like all for one and we're the one, and you'll find that to where we're all in it for each other. We want each other to succeed here. And because it's just fun when you put your money to work and you start seeing positive results. And we are in what is called a crypto bull market right now that probably will go through the end of the year. So it's pretty cool. Whatever you invest is probably going to increase if you do it smartly throughout the rest of the year. And then there's going to be a point in time to where we'll get all the signals that they'll say, all right, get to safety. So you'll put them in. We'll talk about that later. We won't get over our skis. But so I decided back then that, you know what, I'm learning a ton here, and I think other people could benefit. And so that's when I launched the Uncle Vigilante channel and dedicated it to newbies. Not that I am a pro in anything. I admit I am not. I don't know much. But what I am is a curious individual, and I am intent on figuring it out. And when I said earlier that crypto is hard until it's not, what I mean is just like riding a bike. If you've never ridden a bike, you're going to say riding a bike is hard. But those of you who have gone through the hard part, now you know that riding a bike is a piece of cake, right? So this channel is not going to be about trading or anything. This channel is about how does somebody brand new get $1,000, let's say, from your bank account onto an exchange to where you can buy some cryptocurrency and maybe diversify into several coins. And none of this will make sense. What the hell is a coin, right? I still don't understand, really. I mean, they are projects. Think about it as a project, or you could even almost think about it as a company. You're investing in a company called Bitcoin. Now, that's not the case, but I'm just trying to draw an analogy for you, because that's what we do here, is we draw analogies so that we can take the cookies down from the top shelf and put them on an accessible shelf where we can eat the cookies and maybe benefit. So, over the last, so anyway, once you dive head first into the shallow end and you start realizing, whoa, I didn't break my neck, and then you start realizing that, oh, my investments are really kind of taking off, and whoa, waking up one day and say my portfolio just doubled, and whoa, wake up the next week and it's tripled. And, granted, it could have gone the other way. It depends when you get in, but we're in a good place right now. If you're watching this right now, and you're just kind of nervous or afraid, we're going to help you. And the whole goal is to be able to get your fiat dollars out of the bank, whatever you are comfortable investing in this asset class, be able to go on an exchange, buy some coins, and then be able to get those coins back on either your Exodus wallet that resides on your computer, or if the Trezor accepts the coin, you want to be able to get it onto your offline cold storage wallet called the Trezor T. And then when you do that, it's like basically taking your cash from the bank and putting it into your home safe, right? And only you know the combination to that safe in your house, and nobody knows where it is. Now, there are certain things that you have to be very mindful of that Dan is going to walk us through tonight. I asked him to prepare what are 10 things that newbies should be concerned about or aware of, or what are 10 landmines, if you will, or just some coaching tips. And Dan has graciously agreed to come and just kind of impart some of his wisdom. And we've also decided that we're going to create a course that will be a course that'll be like maybe a 4-week course, bite size, to where it'll go a little deeper. We haven't created it yet. As a matter of fact, here's the outline. And I'm really excited about it, because guess what? We just start ugly and we figure things out together. So that's the intro. Let me look real quickly in the chat. I see lots of people in there. Thank you guys for showing up, and forgive me if I'm not reading these right away. I'm going to focus on Dan. But so I may, if you're asking questions when we open it up later, you may need to ask it again when we can focus on it. So Dan, with that, first of all, I want to thank you for all of the time that you've invested in not only me, but lots of other people too. You're kind of becoming a little legend in these chat groups because you do, sincerely help people and make sense out of it. And you have the patience of a saint dealing with us that are just kind of going, ah! So welcome to the show, Dan.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate all that. I'm really though, I'm just like you. I'm just somebody else doesn't know shit. And I'm where I am because I took my punches a few years ago in crypto when I got involved and I didn't know what I was doing. And so I learned a lot of things the hard way. And, but I knew that there was something special about it. So it's like a lot of people, when they, get involved and they see their first pump and dump and they lose their whole, half their life savings or entire life savings and say the whole thing's a scam, and they walk away. And
can you explain what a pump and dump is so that people understand?
That's basically where people who are basically people trading inside that just they know what's going to happen, and so they have a coin set up, and then they put out a bunch of social media promotions, say, hey, buy this new coin. This new coin is the next big thing. A bunch of people go out and buy it. The price goes up, and then everybody sells, and the people who pumped it make a bunch of
So
money.
it would be like if you and I decided that we were going to create an Uncle V coin, and we started talking about it, that people could get in, and let's say you and I, we started that, and we could invest in it at a penny, and we just really want to take advantage of people. And so we talk about it. We have a weekly show to where we're talking about the Uncle V coin all the time, and we're getting people excited, and we tell people how to go buy it. And then we talk, and then all of a sudden it goes from a penny to 2 pennies to, and then when it does what's called moon, to where if you look at a chart and it's trading at a penny, 2 pennies, and then all of a sudden it goes to 10 cents, and everyone, sees it going to 10 cents, and they do what's called chasing the candle. That's called a candle, a green candle. And then they're so darned excited. And so they just start buying in to the top. But you and I know that when they do that, we're going to dump all of our coins, and we're just going to walk away with everyone else's money. That is a pump and dump, and that's a real thing. People need to understand. You hear Bitcoin, you hear Ethereum, you hear different coins that are out there that are called blue chip coins, but there are 7,000 coins out there. So that's where you have to walk slowly. And when you're a newbie, don't focus on any of those coins right away that everybody's talking about. There are some really good coins right now that people are talking about that they're real tempting to just jump in, especially if you're new, because you'd like to see those amazing gains. But just take a deep breath and realize that life is long, and we are so new into this space. Not just us being new, but the space is new. And so we have a long way to go. So if we're all just patient and we just stay within the guardrails, we're going to be okay, and we're not going to lose our money. So thank you. So pump and dump. All right. I interrupted. Sorry. I'll probably do that a lot, because I really, as we go along, I never want to be assumptive that people understand what we're talking about, because I didn't.
No, that's good. So where was I? I don't remember what you were asking before.
I effectively derailed you. All right. Well, you were talking about pump and dump.
And then before that, right? You asked what that was. So
yeah, I asked what pump and dump.
Yeah, people get involved. They lose all their money in a pump and dump, and then they just walk away from all things crypto. So I knew there was something like I knew what kind of where Bitcoin came from, and I'd read the white paper before, and I saw something that like people hearing about it just kind of casually just didn't know some of the things that I was seeing, and so I stuck with it, and I learned about how it worked. I went to developer conferences, and I've always been kind of a computer geek, so I've I can understand at a high level kind of how the software works, how it does things, and yeah, so I learned about that, and then I just basically, I didn't have anything like in a bank account or anything to move over. I'm basically starting from scratch. So I'm kind of coming from that angle, like starting over from scratch, kind of outside of the existing system. And that's what I try to focus on.
Okay, so that's really kind of a important delineation, which is really a cool part of this too. When you say Bitcoin and people hear that Bitcoin is trading at over $60,000, that can be intimidating, because most of us are saying, I don't have $60,000 to go buy a Bitcoin. Well, that's the bit part of the coin. You can buy $100 worth of Bitcoin. You can buy a small amount of Bitcoin, and you realize the same gains that you would. It's the same percentage of gains. So wherever you are in your life, what I encourage is just dive into the pool, get into the game, just because even if it is a small amount, $100, $200, whatever your appetite is, as far as discretionary investment dollars, just start taking a little bit of that and explore, learn. And when you do, you'll realize that, after a while, all of the confusion, it's not all of it, but the initial confusion will go away and it'll start making sense to you. I promise you that. So, but your point being is a lot of people who have gotten into this have gotten in at the wrong time, perhaps. Maybe they got in at the end of a bear market and they put their money in because there was a point to where I remember a friend of mine, CJ, I was out in California, my wife and I were, and he was telling me that I should invest in Bitcoin, and it was trading at $7,000 at the time. And I believe he had gotten in around $3,000. And then I'm like, $7,000. No, thanks. And it went up to like $20,000. Now, at that time, I remember the day I was like, God, I'm so stupid. And I came this close to putting money in at $20,000. But then it pulled back and it went down to, I can't remember. Can you remember how far? Did it go down to like 3,000? I think it went from 20.
From 20, yeah, it ultimately fell down to about 3,000.
Yeah. So imagine if you were that poor investor who didn't know shit, and you put in $20,000. All right, here we go. If you put in $20,000 and then all of a sudden the floor came out. Now, if you would have just held, guess what? Bitcoin goes like this, but it always goes in one direction. And frankly, it always will, just because of how it's wired. And you'll figure it out. You'll learn. You'll go do things that I recommend, like you will go down into the description and I will have some recommendations for you. One is to absolutely, the best thing I think any new person can do is go to Audible and get the book Bitcoin, Hard Money You Can't Fuck With. That taught me more about this. I mean, I tell you that it is the gold standard of education when it comes to Bitcoin. And I know that this is a live stream. So right after, there is no description yet. This has to render first. And when it does, I promise you, I will come back in and I will put all the links to what I recommend. There's another recommendation, which is the Michael Saylor series on YouTube called What is Money by I believe Robert Breedlove is the host on his channel, and he has Michael Saylor, who's the CEO of MicroStrategies, and there is the 4th installment and the 8th installment that you must go watch. Once you do all of that, and then when you go to hope.com and you start kicking the tires there, that will educate you further, which is intended to educate CFOs of institutions. I will tell you, you will know more than 99.9% of the people on the planet about this. You really will. So the education is there. We'll direct you to where you can go. But the point is, if you hang in there with this asset class, you have to know it's a bumpy ride. That's the first thing you have to know, is that it's a bumpy ride. But if you're smart and you get into blue chip coins, and you just hold and you stay patient, then you're going to see your investment is really, really sound. And it's going to be much like back in when Web 1.0 launched, when it was the late 90s and the internet became a thing. And imagine if you would have invested in Apple or Amazon or Google back then, and you wouldn't have sold until today, right? You'd be so filthy rich. You wouldn't. That's where we are right now, guys. That's where we are. I mean, in 10 years from now, you'll look back and you'll think maybe this is your first introduction, and you will say, whoa, I cannot believe that I got in when Bitcoin was $60,000. It's trading at $1.2 million now. I cannot believe it. That's going to happen, everyone. That's going to happen. Okay, Dan, sorry.
So what were you asking next?
I don't know. I just derail and you got to pick back up.
That's not my job.
Okay, so let's jump in to the 10 things that, based on your experience, you think that newbies should pay attention to.
Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing is people just don't understand a lot of things about how it really works under the hood. Like I was, I was like, if you're just getting, if you're coming from like where you've always had a bank account, you've always had that kind of infrastructure to do all your stuff with money, it's not the same thing to go to Coinbase and buy Bitcoin. And I mean, yeah, once you have it in Trezor and stuff, it's locked away, but there's still like there's still there's a lot more to it than that, and there's a lot more to crypto than just buying it and holding it. And what I like to do is expose people to the other parts of crypto, that like actually using it. So if you maybe don't want to move your money from a bank into an exchange and do everything, the like go through the standard like gatekeepers that they have set up, you can just set up a wallet on your phone and you can make something or sell something and just take crypto from people for that and get a little bit at a time.
So you can basically, let's just say that you're a stained glass artist. I'm thinking of my daughter here. She's a wonderfully talented stained glass artist, and she currently sells her work for fiat dollars. So someone might buy one of her monarch butterflies for, let's say, $250. So you're saying that she could make her monarch butterflies and, as an option, accept payment in cryptocurrency.
She could sell them as NFTs.
She could, yeah. I think we're getting over our skis there. Let's keep it 101 here.
Yeah, but I mean that would be something. Yeah.
Yeah,
we can do a lot of cool things with crypto.
Yeah, we can talk about NFTs in a little later. I just put my dog for sale as an NFT for $500,000. That's another story.
Yeah. Wow.
No, is anyone ever going to buy it? Likely not. But I just wanted to go through the process of minting one of my dog's videos that has gone viral. And if anybody out there wants to have a little dose of joy every day, go to Zammy Pup on Instagram. He's a children's hospital therapy dog, and he spreads lots of joy worldwide. But so crypto, a couple of ways you can get into the game is by fiat. So getting $1,000 from your bank account into Coinbase onto your Trezor. Let's say that then you have $1,000, to keep it simple, of Bitcoin on your Trezor. Or what you're saying is there are other ways for people to get in. Maybe you don't have a lot of money, but you do have some skills, or you can sell some things. And so or you could exchange, your labor. I mean, I think back to when I was young and I was mowing lawns for $5. If back then I could say to Mrs. Smith next door, here, just send the $5 to my crypto wallet. Now that opens up a whole separate can of worms of, we're not to the point to where everybody is speaking the language of crypto. So what I'd like to focus on for the purposes of this is most people have some money in the bank. And so, we want to be able to get that working. But before we go through that process, go ahead and go through your list and just start marking off what you think are important for people to understand.
Well, Yeah, I mean, I've already been talking about some of these, but another thing is like to understand what a blockchain is, that it's something on the blockchain. The reason that that's a revolutionary thing is that it's anything put on the blockchain is permanent and immutable, so it can't be changed in the future. It can't be reversed, and so um, that means that the things that would normally happen, like when you make a transaction, say you go to the store and you swipe your card, that transaction is going through like 7 or 8 different places where every little place is skimming a little bit off the top, and then people have to be like, or things have to be settled, before, and it takes a few days because everything's moving through third parties. But and so if something goes wrong, if there's an unauthorized transaction, you can call somebody and they can reverse it.
Mm-hmm.
They can fix it for you because you're using their system where, they basically have control of it at the end of the day. So there's somebody you can call. There's a bank or customer service line that you can call, and they can reverse unauthorized transactions. That does not exist in crypto.
So let's give an example of that. Of you buy something. Let's say that you see something online that you like a lot. Let me give you a real example. I remember seeing some sweaters before one Christmas that I thought looked really, really fantastic, and they were promoting it on Instagram, actually, Instagram ads. And I thought, man, those look like nice sweaters. And so I went through the process and I ordered from them. And when I got them, I mean, they were like, they were like, they wouldn't even fit my dog. They were just so cheap. And obviously it was just a scam. And so I called the bank customer service, and I had that charge reversed. So if I would have sent them cryptocurrency through a blockchain, there's no customer service to call. So when you execute a transaction, it's done. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And so if you accidentally send something to the wrong address, there's nothing you can do to get it back.
Right.
So if somebody tells you to send your crypto to a particular address and you don't know them, you don't know who they are, you don't know what it's about or something, they're just saying, hey, send something here and I'll send you. If you're buying something for crypto online, like you need to have some sort of escrow. Like if you're buying a physical item, you would want to have either trust like the party you're doing business with, because they have to send you something physical, but when you send them the crypto, it's gone.
Right.
So you need to have some kind of escrow in place, or if you trust the person you're dealing with to send you the physical item. So they have those things that you can use to do that.
Okay. So like, for example, if somebody had the money and they were crypto enthusiasts and they had a Bitcoin, Tesla, now you can buy a Tesla with Bitcoin. And so that would be a case to where that would be a trusted party because it's Tesla. But if it was somebody selling a Tesla in the next state and you haven't seen it yet, and you send them the Bitcoin before you take possession, there's the risk. So that would be where you would want to have a third party involved in that crypto transaction. Am I picking up what you're putting down?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, the same way you would like just understand you don't have the protections a bank would have or a financial institution would have. So you got to take steps if that's a concern. You're doing a transaction with somebody for crypto directly. If you're doing it like in person, you're just getting a physical item right there, and you see the person face to face. Then, yeah, just as long as they're not going to like hit you over the head and run off after you.
Right. So the lesson learned here, I think that's important for everyone to understand, because I don't want this to get too complicated, is that there are use cases for crypto other than just buying it as an investment. You can actually use crypto. You can as a form of payment. And that would be, I think, next level for a newbie. I certainly haven't gotten there yet. I don't have necessarily a crypto wallet on my phone yet. I'm just not there. I want to figure out the investment side first so that I can get into the game. But the lesson learned here is there's going to be a point in time to where, it's going to be second nature of using crypto to pay for things. It's like, I don't know all of you watching, but I do remember back in the day that getting online to be able to set up email and send emails, that was hard back then. It was clunky, but now it's just second nature to all of us. We don't have to understand how it works. Email just works. So think about, there will be a point in time where sending cryptocurrency as payment is going to be as simple as, sending an email. So almost
That's
imagine,
true.
right? So
True.
almost imagine that, okay, I want to send Dan $20. Let me just go into my email. Let's go. And I have a file on my computer. I know how to attach a file. Oh, there's that $20 bill, that digital $20 bill. Let me attach that to the email and send it. Boom, you get it. You can download it. Now it's in your file, which is a wallet. So that's ultimately kind of how this all works. And there are all of these companies out there that are working on these solutions so that we don't have to think about it. It'll just work. It'll just work. So it's to talk about a use case. I know, like, to be able to, my wife is Russian. Her mom still lives in Russia. To be able to send money, over to Russia for whatever reason, just as a gift or whatever. It takes like, 5 days to be able to go through all of the different levels or, to be able to get it into her account from our account. And with cryptocurrency, once, you get the hang of it, boom, it can happen within seconds. And that's the magic. That's the magic. That's why it's going to revolutionize every single thing that we do. So those of us who start understanding it now, we're just going to be ahead of the game. So, welcome. And I was listening to a podcast today, or a YouTube channel, and this guy, his name is Wu. He was talking about where we are today is, if you think about a continuum of 1 to 100, and you think about at the beginning of the internet, when that just launched, we're about 4% today in crypto as to where the web was, 25 years ago. So that means that we're still really early, everyone. And that's great news, because if you're getting into it now and adopting it now and understanding it now, there's 96% of the world that is going to be playing catch up. So that encourages me. That gets me excited. That means that it is new, but proven. Okay, so you were talking about blockchain, and let's see. Can you touch on let's just walk through the process of how would you connect to an exchange like Coinbase? Tell us about KYC. What is that?
Well, that's just what like exchanges, like pretty much all exchanges now are regulated by the government. So you have to, if you open an account with them, you have to provide your ID and proof of address and all kinds of paperwork so they can verify who you are and so they know who you're dealing with. or they know who they're dealing with. And anything you buy off an exchange is going to be linked to your identity. And so that's basically the process of attaching an identity to your, whatever crypto addresses you end up having. So, because if normally if you just use a native crypto wallet that doesn't have any KYC, it's just going to create a random address for you in the wallet that's your address. And so that random information, the random string, is all that gets saved in the actual blockchain. But if you go through an exchange, then they're attaching your name and everything else to it. So that can be found later if anyone ever wanted to.
Right. And so for us newbies to get into the game, KYC is a thing, and that's called Know Your Customer. That's what KYC means. And that just means that these exchanges, which are in essence banks, Coinbase, which just went public, has now become the 9th largest bank in the US. That's mind-boggling. The 9th largest bank in the US. So they are under the rules and regulations, because guess what? When you buy a coin for $100 and you sell it for $200, that does create a tax event. That becomes income. And so the greedy little tax man wants his cut. So of that profit, let's say that your tax rate is 30% at the end of the year, you're going to be responsible for $30. So you need to be mindful of that. But that's why they want to attach your name and social security number and your face. You have to upload your driver's license. So the process when you go to Coinbase, they walk you through it, but basically you just have to enter in your name, address, social security number. They're going to have you take a picture of your front and back of your driver's license and upload it. And then they will, like Coinbase, then you need to, and this kind of freaked me out at first, but you know how when you log into your online banking, you have your user ID and your password? Well, you need to enter that user ID and password. So you're giving Coinbase access to your bank account so that they can withdraw however much money that you want to send over. So that's called onboarding your money onto the exchange. And then when you're in there, once it's onboarded, you have your $100, it'll say in cash, and now, or 1,000, let's say, just to make the math easier. Then you can use that to buy different coins. So you could buy 5 different coins for $200 a piece. And now those go into 5 different coin wallets on Coinbase. Now, when you have your Exodus wallet on your computer, or your offline Trezor wallet, you'll have corresponding wallets. So you'll have a wallet for each coin. So if you buy Bitcoin, you'll have a wallet on Coinbase that has an address. And then you will have on your Exodus wallet, or you could send it directly to your Trezor, you'll have another wallet that'll have a public address there. So you can send from Coinbase to your Trezor wallet, the Bitcoin wallet, and they will keep track of that. They will then know that you bought $200 of Bitcoin and it went to your Trezor wallet. So that's just a long way of saying that they keep track of this stuff. Now, once you go into some advanced levels of this, there are ways to be able to buy cryptocurrency that are non-KYC, or alternative ways to get it to where your privacy is protected, so no one would know that you're buying something. You could, there are Bitcoin ATMs out there that you could go and put cash in, and then that's, your name and ID is not attached to that. But we're not going to go there. But just know that ultimately you'll get there, because we all do. But that's 201, not 101. So
that's really as simple as it is. You then have you have that $200 of Bitcoin on your wallet that you can keep safe in your home. But why don't you educate us a little bit, Dan, on the importance of what are keywords and, how does that work?
Okay, well, I mean, most wallets, if you want to get really specific about it, it's like the seed words is what they're called. 12 is usually 12 or 24 words that the wallets will give you once you open it up. Once you create the wallet and you want to back it up, so that way in case your wallet gets lost, your phone gets lost or something, or gets damaged for some reason, you need to restore it. Your money is actually not kept on the device; it's kept on the blockchain, which is it's in the cloud. Basically, you can think about it like that. It's your money is actually in an address on a database that is decentralized all over the entire world. So all you need is these words, the set of words in this exact specific order to be able to reconstruct your private key. And you do that on your local software so that you can access your money at the address on the blockchain.
Okay, so
did I go over your head with that?
You didn't. No, I'm a visual guy, so I'm going to do a little show and tell here. I got a prop. I want to let you know this is how this is where all my money is, guys. Just to let you know, and if you think about breaking into Uncle V's home, I have a nasty German Shepherd, and trust me, you'll never be able to find where this is. But this is a fireproof bag, and I'll tell you why that's important. In the fireproof bag, let me unzip it. There is a smaller fireproof bag, which let me open that up. And within that, there's another fireproof bag. And you'll learn why this is important. Within this bag, I open it up and I have 2 Trezor wallets. Okay, so this is where ultimately the money is, on these Trezor wallets. Okay, so
I'm trying to say there's actually no money on those.
Oh, okay, so that. Okay, thank you.
Your money is not stored on the device.
See, I just learned something. So your money is not stored on the device; it is on the blockchain.
Right.
It's just these have the private keys that unlocks it from the blockchain, right?
Exactly. You can think about it like your money is in a secure database online that only you can access with the keys that are on that Trezor.
Okay, thank you. I just learned something because I thought it was all on here, but it's not. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So this is basically the combination to the safe. Yes. For what's on the blockchain. So we can see on the blockchain my address that is associated with this. And if I want to just go in there without that and grab that money and pull it off, or if anybody else wanted to, they couldn't, because you can only unlock that cell. Think of an Excel spreadsheet. And let's say your money for Bitcoin is on that specific cell. The only way that you can unlock that and see that and do anything with it is secure on these. It are your private keys to be able to unlock that. So these could get damaged, right? They could get damaged. And if
lost, it would fall into the wrong hands.
Yes, somebody could steal it. Mm-hmm. But they couldn't do anything with this. They couldn't unlock this without. I think we lost everyone. We're not live anymore. So let me relaunch. No, it says we're live.
Why? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. I thought we lost you, but somehow I hit a wrong button. Okay, so we're back. We're back like a good rash. So, so the thing that I want to hammer home right now is in another bag in here. So you know what a treasure is now visually, but oh shit, sorry. But in here, I have a book. Okay, this is the most important thing in the world to me when it comes to my cryptocurrency, because when you get your keywords that you need to write down, you do not want to enter those into your computer. Why? Because there are scumbags out there that could install keylogger malware on your computer. So one of the very first things you need to do with your dedicated computer is spend the $70 a year or whatever it is to get Kaspersky malware protection and all of that. Protect your computer like you are your own bank. There's no customer service person to call. But you do not want to say, oh, well, I'm going to write down my keywords and I'm going to save them on my computer. Why? Because when you are online, these hackers are really smart. They can hack your computer. They can install malware to where they can take over your computer. So when you go to sleep at night, they can go and say, oh, I know what he typed as far as the keywords. And so they can go then to your address on the blockchain and they can unlock it and take your money. So you want to be able to have paper and pen and be very detailed for every single wallet. You want to be able to write down what your wallet is, what your username is for that wallet, what your password is for that wallet. You want to then be able to write down your keywords in here so that if there was...
I would say one thing. You should not keep your seed words and your passwords in the same place.
That's
different. They're different layers of security, because if you have all that in the same place, your passwords don't matter. Your passwords aren't going to do anything if somebody has your seed words. So
how do you do it then, Dan? Because that's good advice, and I'm going to have to. Now, here's what happens when we're newbies and we learn stuff like this. That tells me that I have some work to do, because I have my username and password along with my keywords all on the same page for every one of my wallets in here, right? And so that's dangerous from what you're telling me. I need to keep.
So if somebody has your password, then they still need your private key itself to, even like if your private key is encrypted on your wallet file, whenever you have your wallet open on your computer, whenever you send a transaction, the computer has the private key, the encrypted private key on the computer, and it asks for your password. You type in your password, it decrypts your private key with your password to sign the transaction, and then it's able to be sent. But if somebody has your seed words, they don't need your password or your private key at all. They can just pull it up on any wallet.
Okay, so if they have the 12 words, they don't need a username or password?
Nope.
I did not know that either. Huh. So they could just restore it and then
it bypasses all other types of security, like biometric even, and it doesn't matter where it is. If you have the 12 words, you can pull it. You can be halfway on the other side of the world on a different, like a totally different wallet. You just put it in, and you'll be able to have it.
So okay, that's well. Then why do you need to have them separate then? If the keywords if somebody has your keywords, it doesn't matter what your user ID and pass is, right? So the keywords are really the most important thing to protect.
It is the most important thing to protect. Yeah.
Okay.
For passwords, you can use a digital password manager for that. You can store passwords in a password manager.
Yeah, like Kaspersky has a password manager in
Yeah,
there.
whichever one you like to use. There's lots of them out there.
Sure, sure. So then you only really have one password that you need to memorize for that password manager, and then it does everything for you behind the scenes. And I will tell you, I'll totally admit I haven't done that, and I need to do that because I frankly haven't really understood the password managers yet. But that's, again, we're all learning here together, everyone. But what I want to reinforce with everyone is the thing that I tried to be smart, and I'm like, okay, if a fire got this, I'm screwed. So that's why I got on Amazon. You can get it. It's awesome. I mean, there's this thing. It comes with, there's 3 different folders within there. Each one it's big, medium, small. And so the small ones, I keep my Trezor, and the medium one, I keep my password book. And then the larger one, I keep my files for like my LLC, IRA, and bank information and stuff is in there. And then it all fits in here, which, as we're talking this through, I know that I need to separate all of these. So, but I want to let everybody know that fire is a thing. And I think that, especially as newbies, and we're just learning here, the pen and paper is the most important thing. I ordered an engraver and some metal plates to engrave my keywords. And I will tell you, when I got it, I sent it back to Amazon because I didn't send my keywords on the engraver back, but it was so hard and you could barely read it. So maybe it was just the one I had, but it was just, it just wasn't realistic. So I went the alternative route, and I'm like, I just want to make sure fire can't get this. Now, if a tornado hits, hurricane hits, another story. But that's where I guess safety deposit boxes come in and such. But I know we're probably going overboard on all of this, but we're doing that only because you have to know that you're playing for keeps here. So this really at bottom is the most important. The security of your keywords, passwords, is just second to none. But, there's a solution to all of them. Just don't type them into your computer. Please do not store them anywhere on your computer. That's dumb, because, you don't know what's on your computer. I don't know what malware is on there. So
some people, another thing some people do is take a screenshot or take a picture with their phone.
Bad idea, right?
Yeah, very bad idea. Especially if you have something that automatically uploads your pictures to Google Cloud or something.
Right. And I heard somebody even went to to these dog engraver things, to where they entered in their keywords so they could have them engraved. And I'm like, that's software. Somebody, if I'm managing that, that little kiosk, I'm certainly looking for anything that has 12 words in it or 24 words in it, so, but look, everyone, here's the other thing with all of this stuff. All you have to do is go to Google. And if you have any, or not Google, YouTube, and if you have any questions, like you could go and how to set up a Trezor or how to, whatever. There's so much content on there that'll walk us through this. It's all about starting ugly, and you just learn. That's why it's riding the bike. You're learning how to ride the bike. And once you've researched, how to do something, and you do it once, you got it. You figure it out, right? And then when you can't figure something out, if you go to t.me/Uncle Vigilante. There's a discussion group in there that Dan's in, and other folks are in there that can help you out as well. And Dan is working on this program too, to where I know you're not ready for it yet, but you are going to ultimately be providing some personal consultation. That's your intent, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, I know people need help with this stuff, like walking through stuff one-on-one. So I do that on a limited basis. but yeah, I'm trying to put together a course to kind of get people over those initial hurdles, and at the same time, like learning about what's different about the way that this whole ecosystem operates than what they're used to, and like I want to try to get people used to the different, like how things function in a peer-to-peer economy.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole point of this really is like the central institutions are collapsing, and we're going to be moving to a decentralized economy. So we need to, like, people need to be ready to handle stuff. People need to be like, you need to have a way to send and receive money no matter where you are in the world.
Yeah, my dogs are going nuts, so forgive me if you're hearing barking in the background. So when you I'm just curious, can you hear the dogs barking or
I can
no?
hear them a little bit, but it's not bad.
Okay, as long as it's not bad. What about the? All right, talk to the people. I gotta let my dog out. Sammy, no.
Yeah, so just be careful when you are getting into this stuff, because it's if you don't know kind of what okay, you're back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No problem.
Sorry about that. I just they needed something to play with, so I gave them my treasures.
Shoot up too much.
Yeah. So, all right. So I think we hammered home security. People understand that. What else is on your list?
So I guess another thing people get confused about is that, like, there's not just one blockchain, and there's lots of different blockchains, and some of them work together, some of them are their own independent things, and they all do different things. And the only way to really learn about each one is to do your own research and to like dig into each one individually and learn.
What are some different blockchains? Just ground that for us.
Okay, so Bitcoin is the main one that everybody knows.
Okay.
And then you've got other coins that are forks of Bitcoin, like Bitcoin Cash, and there's Bitcoin Gold, and a few other ones that that ultimately it came from Bitcoin. They're branches of the same tree. Like you could think the blockchain is a chain that forked into two chains.
Okay.
And then it would fork again, and it goes on. Then there's some other projects like Ethereum. It's its own separate blockchain. It does a completely different thing than Bitcoin does. But sort of, it's like a giant cloud computer that you rent time on. So there's tokens that are on Ethereum. So like ERC20 tokens, and there's different types, but the tokens will all share the same address with your Ethereum address, because it's the way Ethereum works is that it's account based. So you have one address for your Ethereum wallet and for all your tokens.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't really mess with Ethereum too much, so I don't know that.
So you have Bitcoin, Ethereum. You have Binance is another one, right? Or is that a derivative of it?
So yeah, I don't do anything with Binance either, but I know that's their internal exchange currency. So that's just kind of what they give out Binance tokens as rewards for their own users, and a lot of exchanges do that. So so that's basically like a private company minting their own tokens and giving them out to their own customers.
I see.
So you can do that too.
Okay, so that would be like Apple coming up with their coins versus if Amazon did one versus, right?
Yeah, but the difference is like instead of it just being something that you collect, you can give these tokens a job. So you can make it so that you can turn these tokens into fuel for something. So there's things that you can do, like you can have networks or transactions where you're trading in like satoshis per byte, and so you're just trading tiny amounts at the same time.
A satoshi is a tiny amount. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You trade tiny amounts of different coins for being able to access certain benefits on that chain. Like you get certain rights, like getting to vote or getting to do something else.
I see. So one thing that that is a point of confusion is, for example, I remember when you buy Bitcoin, let's say you have one Bitcoin, let's say we're all rich and we have one Bitcoin and one Ethereum. When you want to move it to your offline wallets, there are gas fees, and Ethereum is just like so darned expensive. So like if you wanted to send somebody $10 of Ethereum, your gas fee could be $50. So it becomes, and that's real limiting with Ethereum, which Binance is the competitor to Ethereum. And the reason why Binance is doing so well is their gas fees are, a small percentage of Ethereums. And so you have to know that when you're going to, like, if you buy $1,000 worth of any coin, when you move it somewhere or send it somewhere, for that right to be able to send it, they're going to charge you a little commission. So gas fee, in my mind, is just a commission. And that, so ultimately you're not going to get the full $1,000 on your wallet, because you have to leave that commission. And that's how these companies make their money, right? So you might freak out the first time you're like, okay, I just got $1,000 of Bitcoin. Now I want to send $1,000 to my Trezor. And then when you send it, it doesn't send because you put $1,000 in the amount that you send. And then you're like, well, shit, I don't know what do I do? And you get stuck. And then you realize, well, okay, maybe if you just send $998 and whoosh, it goes through, and then you're left with $2 on that exchange. They call that dust. So you have all of these, small amounts on these exchanges that you don't have enough to send anywhere. So they just collect like dust in the exchanges. And I don't know what you do about those. They kind of drive me crazy. I don't know. It's kind of like, I see it. I think those are my dollars, but I can't move them. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, I mean, the reason that is a thing, and you said earlier that these gas fees and mining fees, it's not that those fees don't go to any companies.
Okay.
Those fees go to the miners, who are the people who are running the computers with the really, the big loud computers that produce a lot of heat, that consume a lot of electricity, and that's what secures the network. But the people who run those machines, the miners, get those fees. And the reason that there is dust is because if you have a small amount of a coin that it's uneconomical for you to send it with a fee that you don't even have access to, that you can't sign the same transaction, then that small bit of the coin that you have is essentially stuck there.
Right.
And that's just because you don't have a means to send a fee to go with it.
Right. So who ultimately What happens to that? It just is.
Well, if it's on an exchange, then they have the private keys for it, so they could sweep it into another wallet, and they'd be able to harvest it and keep it for themselves if they wanted to.
But they don't do that on these exchanges. They just keep it there. But I thought that there were some exchanges that were figuring out how you could kind of sweep up all of your dust and somehow benefit.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I'm working on that. I'm not
so
sure.
it just so people know that that's an issue, so it doesn't surprise you. One thing that's really important that blew me away this morning is, I have my little disclaimer that maybe many of you have seen, where I'm wearing a dark sunglasses and a Bitcoin, talking about how I'm a big deal. It's just total sarcasm. I'm trying to be funny, but I must be a big deal because I was looking at my some comments in one of my videos, and I was commenting to somebody. I was talking to somebody, and yeah, it was my picture, and they were faking like they were me, and it looked just like me, except my name. So if you're ever in there, if my name it's highlighted. So if anybody else is faking like they're me, just, I'm going to do my best. And my channel's so small, I can keep track of that stuff. And I deleted it and I reported that person for impersonation. But that's the kind of scumbags that are out there. They have it down to a science, to where they will try to impersonate me. And so if anybody ever, if I ever come at you and tell you about, hey, this great investment opportunity, or hey, if you want to go to a Telegram group, or just text me or whatever, I don't know, but just, that's not me. That's not me. And I never thought I would have to even say that until this morning. I'm like, my goodness. So it's at my level too. So yeah, lots of scumbags out there, right? When I told the story at the beginning of the guy who got me into XRP, it ran up, and he ended up having about $64,000 worth of XRP. And he was so excited because it had started to run. And I remember in the morning, he was like, dude, you have to be feeling great. This is awesome. It's running, and he's so excited. And he had worked so hard for that, and had mined it, and had done all of these things to earn that. It took him like a couple of years to get it to that level. And he came back to me, and he said that it was all gone. I mean, that same day, he said somebody hijacked his computer, and he did all of his research. He could see exactly where it was on the block, but there's no customer service to call. The FBI aren't going to deal with you for a little bit of money. That's a lot of bit of money to him and to us. But that really hit home, and I felt so sorry for him, because he was he's such a good guy, and gone. So that's when I took seriously to, use a computer dedicated to your crypto and shut it off immediately afterwards. Because what happened is they somehow, and he probably did something at some point to where he entered in his keys. I'm sure it was user error. He admits, he tried to be careful, but you just can't be too careful. And he kept his computer on because he was doing some mining from some other coins or whatever. So while he slept, somebody came in and basically just took over his computer, and poof, gone. So those are the sad stories that we hope to keep you from ever experiencing. Have you ever experienced anything like that, Dan?
I've definitely I've had run-ins with people that do stuff like that, I guess. But I was gonna say though, it's not really about leaving your computer on, because really, if you have your wallet if you have your wallet on your computer, on your desktop, then you should have the private key should be encrypted with a password.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter if someone gets the private key, if they don't have your password, they can't do anything with it. They don't
Okay.
like, so it's not, I don't like to tell people that if you leave your computer on, bad people can get into it. Like if you leave it unlocked, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're going to walk away, lock it up, make sure things are closed. But like just leaving it on, just don't, I mean, don't have your seed phrases on the computer. And that's like, that's all.
Just for everyone's protection, I mean, just go ahead and if you want triple security, just go ahead and you can email me your keywords and they'll be safe, guys. I'm kidding, totally kidding, everyone. So once you start getting into this, let me just kind of give people some just some things to think about. When you are dealing with your own personal money, every time you exchange a coin, so even if you want to exchange a coin from Bitcoin to Ethereum or whatever, every time you do that, if you went from $1,000 of Bitcoin to $1,000 of USDT, which is a stable coin, that's a taxable event. So I really encourage people, if you're newbies and you're dealing with savings and you're looking at this as an investment, think long term. Just invest in blue chip coins and hold them for at least a year, because then if you do anything with them, it's long-term capital gains tax, which is the difference of whatever your tax rate is versus 15%. And so the tax bite, in a year is less. And plus, I think it puts you in a good habit of just, investing and not driving yourself crazy of seeing it go like this all the time. Just set it and forget it for a year. Now, you can go to the next level, which I did. And if you go back to my last video, I talk about setting up a self-directed IRA, LLC. And that allows you to trade without tax consequence. So you can use those funds. You can roll over your IRA into a self-directed IRA. And then it's a pretty complicated process, but I think well worth it. And there's a link to the company I use below. There will be, called Perpetual Assets, and they make it really easy to figure out. And if you're remotely interested in that, please go watch my last video. I think start about 43 minutes in. That's where I start talking. I'm on a cigar walk. Uncle V likes to get exercise every day, and I like a cigar every day. So that's, I don't drink anymore and I watch what I eat, but that's my one vice. I like a cigar every day. So I go on walks and I'll talk to you sometimes. And I talked about it in my last video. Frankly, I'm just so happy that I did that, because now I can do these things. Like if Bitcoin, let's say that we go, some people are talking about Bitcoin, which you can buy today at 60,000, that it may do a run up to $300,000 by the end of the year. These are smart people saying that. But there's always a pullback. So if it was just personal monies, I would probably just buy and hold and write it up and write it down. But with my protected IRA monies that is under the cover of the LLC, there's no tax consequence it's tax deferred. So you don't get taxed on anything until you start taking it out, and you can't start taking it out without penalty until you're 59 and a half. So I'm kind of in that zone that it's fun because that 59 and a half is only a few years for me. So I intend to be able to time it to where if Bitcoin gets up high, I'll shift it into stable coins, whereas that would have created a taxable event with my personal stash on my personal treasure. But under the protection of the LLC, there's no taxable event. So if there is a pullback and it goes back down to 100,000, then I'll take those stable coins that I'll have, let's say $300,000 worth. I don't, but that's what they're talking about. It could rise to, and I'll go back down and I'll buy the dip and have more Bitcoin than when it goes up to the next level, which may be 500,000 or whatever. But anyway, you can do that in the protection of the LLC. So I can start, that's kind of my play space now, because I can start thinking about exchanging coins, getting in and out of coins. So that's where it just becomes a different level of fun, because you don't have to worry about Uncle Sam's commission on every trade you do. But, that is something that you have to understand, is that at the end of the year, all of the exchanges, you can download your transactions, and there's software out there that you can get for like $50, and upload them all, and then it'll do its magic, and you can give that to your accountant, and it'll show your tax liability. So anyway, if you have an IRA right now that's trading sideways, and there is no calling your Merrill Lynch custodian and saying, hey, I want you to invest in Cardano or Ether or Ethereum or Bitcoin. They can't do that. But when you roll it into your own and you control the checkbook, you can. So it's very, very powerful. It's a very, very powerful tool that everybody should consider, because I really do believe that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity where we all are right now, as far as where this is heading. We are so early in this still, and there's just so much room for growth. And when you get that book, Bitcoin, Hard Money You Can't Fuck With, you'll realize that your fiat currency, the buying power year over year, has anyone gone to the store this week and bought some steak? I think it's gone up like 25% over the last month or two. It just blew me away when I went this weekend. And that's because there's inflation, and your buying power is going down. So what you used to be able to buy for $100, you can't buy for $100 anymore. It's just more expensive. But with Bitcoin, that is what combats inflation. So that's your store of value. Again, that's a deeper dive, but just kid tested, uncle approved, is you really want to be in this asset class. So, all right. What else, kid tested? Anything else on your list?
That's pretty much all I wanted to cover, I guess.
Well, we've hit it hard for 90 minutes, and I know people's attention span is, I don't want to overdo it. And we'll be back, but let me just go in, guys, to the comments. Hello, everyone, and let me just see if there's any. Let's see. What are the average prices of the new coins that Mike Newton recommends each month? Low cap coins. They are the ones that he have recommended have been, I would say anywhere from $1 to $10. And of the 4 that I've participated in, 2 of them have done really, really well, and the other ones are kind of just almost where they were when I bought them. But what Mike Newton says is, you let the project come to you. So He that's the whole thing when you're investing in these, earlier projects that have the smaller market caps. They have a lot of room to run, to grow. And that's where when you hear stories about people, investing $100 and it going up to where they cash out at $3,000, that's not going to happen. That kind of growth isn't going to happen with Bitcoin. Or as you go up the food chain and you get to these blue chips, you're not going to have that kind of growth. But those smaller ones can go to zero. But that's why Mike Newton's service is so amazing, is because he does all the heavy lifting for you. And his track record is 55 out of 56. He's only had one coin go to zero, and all of the other ones have ended up being profitable. Let's see. What are some non-KYC, low cost, and easy to learn fiat on-ramp options? Can you address that?
Can you say that again? Low cost.
Yeah, it says, what are some non-KYC, low cost, and easy to learn fiat on-ramp options? So where could somebody take their dollars from their bank and get into this game without going through know your customer? And so they're talking about privacy coins here, probably.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot fewer of those these days. Most places where you can get crypto or KYC, but you can still trade peer-to-peer, like I was talking about earlier. If you know somebody who has any crypto, you can get it directly from them. And there's also websites where you can do, you can arrange trades with people online, and then you have to, you basically you can send from your bank account, or you can send from Venmo or PayPal or something like that directly to another person, and they send you crypto.
Okay, I'm going to show somebody something that after we get off here, I'm going to go do. This is Jeff Berwick had recommended this. He's been recommending it for a while, and it's been doing amazingly well. But if you go to pirate.black, that's Pirate Chain. That's the coin R, ARRR. But apparently it's like doubled this past week. And it is the most anonymous cryptocurrency. And you do need Bitcoin, from what I understand. You can't on-ramp from your bank. So you have to, is that right? Do you have R?
Yeah, I got a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's a smaller altcoin right now. It's still pretty small.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a process to get there from, like, if you don't have anything in crypto yet.
So what is, like, if you did have some Bitcoin, you would just you'd open up a wallet there. It looks like it's pretty self-evident.
Well, so that's just the website for that coin. You can download the wallet from their site, and then you would need to go buy it on an exchange and then withdraw it to your wallet.
Oh, so I see. So that's where you can get your wallet, and that wallet would reside in your web browser, right? Or on your computer?
No, it's a separate application on your computer.
Okay, so it's a separate app on your computer. And then it says exchanges here. I'm just going to go back and share the screen again. So get started. So the wallet, so that's where you would go through the process, and it would download to your computer. And then here's the exchanges to where you could go. I presume it'll tell you where you can go buy some. And I imagine those are non-KYC, because I can't imagine R being it's not going to be on Coinbase or anything like that, right?
I think it's on some KYC exchanges.
Oh, is it? Okay. So you get it, and then once you get it, you send it to your wallet that's on your computer.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't seem like it's that hard, but that's one that I think people are.
What's difficult about it is like getting from, because you have to go, you can only get it with Bitcoin. So you have to go from where you're at to Bitcoin first, and then from Bitcoin to
I see.
and then that each one of those steps involves several steps in between, to do
Right.
it. But
So what is a trade ogre? Because I've seen that associated with that. Is that an exchange?
that's an exchange, yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so you would use that to send your Bitcoin and turn it into a pirate and then withdraw that.
Okay. So that's okay. So pirate, they call it pirate. Its symbol is ARRR, which is awesome. But yeah, I know Jeff Berwick, the dollar vigilante, and the crypto vigilante Raphael, they talk a lot about that. And so do you have any thoughts? Positive, negative?
Well, I like it from the research I've done into it. It's a privacy coin that uses ZK snarks technology, which basically, without going over anybody's head, it's a methodology of proving something without revealing any of the information which you're proving.
Okay.
So essentially, it's the reason it's better than Monero's privacy is Monero it does a number of things that makes transactions untraceable, but it's not 100% zero knowledge. It's still involved. I can't explain really how the cryptography all works, but that's basically what I know. But with Pirate Chain, with all these ZK Snark coins, there's several of them. But like Zcash was the first one that came out with this technology, and that was like the prototype for ZK Snarks. The problem with Zcash was that they have transparent addresses which work just like Bitcoin, and then there's optional privacy with ZK Snarks. So privacy is opt-in. And so with Pirate Chain, it's everything uses ZK Snarks from the very foundation. So everything is like there's no possibility for any kind of information to get hacked because it's not stored there at all.
Okay.
Using zero knowledge cryptography, which
so let me ask you a question then. Once you let's say you buy Bitcoin on Coinbase, and then you go through this process and you buy Pirate. At that point in time, if you do something with Pirate, nobody's going to know, right? I mean, it's like if you went and exchanged that for other coins, I'm just trying to, I'm asking the white elephant in the room is the IRS can't see.
So if you send a normal Bitcoin transaction, the information that gets put on the blockchain that becomes public and searchable for the rest of time is the sending address, the receiving address, and the amount. And it also is time stamped. So there's an exact record in time of when it happened, the receiving address, sender address, and amount. With Pirate, you can put in a transaction ID and you will see nothing. You can see that yes, that a transaction happened, but that's it. You can see a transaction happened, and you can probably tell when it happened, but there's no details about the transaction are visible to the public.
Okay, so it just becomes an invisible coin in your portfolio, right?
Pretty much.
So that's a good thing. That's why I think people who are really interested in their privacy really like Pirate. Mm-hmm. So I can see all kinds of benefits that probably you don't say out loud, but it just seems to me like, I don't know, the tax man probably doesn't like this coin.
I wouldn't imagine so.
Okay. Okay. That's the white elephant. Okay. Let me, so people are talking about Bitcoin and Monero ATMs. You want to talk about what those ATMs are?
Well, I know that lately a lot of ATMs have gone full KYC. So you walk up there and you start the process, and it'll ask you to put in your phone number so it can send you a verification request, or it'll tell you to hold up your driver's license. And it might actually have facial recognition to where it'll compare the photo on your driver's license to the face that's sitting in front of the machine. And if it doesn't match up, I don't know if that'll do anything, but
I think they
essentially,
kill you.
yeah, maybe. But essentially, yeah, ATMs are not really a way to avoid KYC because they do all that now, and they're all pretty much regulated and licensed. So
Wait, the ATMs are?
yeah, the ones I've seen.
Oh, so that's not the easy way to get around being
Not
able
anymore. Not
Okay.
anymore.
Okay. Somebody said, guys, I need help. Bought some BTC at Coinbase, which I accidentally sent to my Proton email. 2 weeks in crypto. I'm a complete newbie. So how can you send anything to your Proton email? I guess that's hard. That's hard to understand because you can't send BTC to a Proton email.
So if it's on Coinbase, Coinbase allows you to send money internally. Like if you have Bitcoin or something on Coinbase and you want to send it to another Coinbase user, another Coinbase account, you can put in an email address.
Oh,
but that's not for withdrawing.
So if he sent it to his own Proton email, so that coin is not lost.
Well, that doesn't make sense to me because I don't know. Because if you send it to an email address and Coinbase doesn't have an account with that email address,
right?
Then Coinbase should have it, and just if it got locked up for some reason, just ask for it back.
So Ken, just call their customer service.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ken, we can't answer that. So somebody's trying to help. So Nano Joe, thank you for trying to help. Find this channel. Drop a like. Yeah, thank you, Art. Drop a like so others will find this channel. My man, Art. I know Art. That's a good dude. Hold on one second. Wow, I don't know why I can't. I was going to make you a moderator, Art, but it's not allowing me to. Oh, well, I tried. Dang, I don't know why. Okay, not sure what makes sense instead. Not just online instead. Okay, let's see, shorting BTC link and comp. Okay, Randy is shorting BTC link and comp. You are way out of my league if you're doing shorts. Good for you. I hope it works out for you. I wouldn't even try to do that because I don't know shit. Let's see. People are just talking back and forth, which is cool. Been 3 years since I've used Bisq. I have no idea what Bisq is. I'm sure you do, Dan.
I know what it is. Yeah.
Okay. On KYC. So yeah, a lot about Bisq. Some Nano Joe, every single crypto trade you make on an exchange is a taxable event. True. It's not just selling for fiat. Thank you for that clarification, Nano Joe. Good catch. Treat your crypto like a business. Filing an LLC and benefit from all the tax loopholes, and next thing you know, you'll think nothing of taxes. Okay.
or start a small tangible business and run your crypto to that. It's called crypto laundering. Okay. Well, Uncle V's channel doesn't understand crypto laundering. I'm sure it exists, and I don't understand it. So, Deadhead, my keywords are locked in 3 different safety deposit boxes. Cool. That is, you must be a hodler then, because otherwise, if you're trading, that's a pain. That'd be a pain in the ass to go to 3 different safety deposit boxes. But I like it. I think that's
the thing there is like, so it's the seeds. If it's the seeds that are stored in 3 different places, you don't need to get that every time you want to do a trade. You only need that if you're restoring your wallet.
Oh, got it.
The problem with keeping it in 3 places is what happens when one of them gets lost.
Say again.
What happens if one of them gets lost? Because you should have backups if you're going to have it stored in separate locations. Each, like, there's systems of redundancy that you can set up for that. Because if you take your seed phrase, say you split your 12 words into groups of 4 words and you have it in 3 different spots.
I see.
If one of those gets damaged or lost somehow, then your entire thing is gone. So,
or maybe he is anal like I intend to be, which is I would have 3 sets in that case, to where you would have a different set in each one, so you have that redundancy. Mm-hmm. So if one safety deposit box gets hit by a tornado, probably won't hit your other safety deposit box too. But that's a lot of safety deposit boxes. But you know what? When you're talking about meaningful amount of money, you are your own bank. So I think that's smart. Deadhead, it's a beautiful world when we all learn together. Absolutely. It's always common sense when it comes to protection of your own family and your own money. Spot on. Nobody said cryptocurrency is easy, and it's changing faster than you and me. Time to get on the bandwagon if you want to be rich faster than anything's possible. Yeah, look, there isn't another asset class like this. I really encourage that book, Bitcoin, Hard Money You Can't Fuck With. It is just the best. I've learned so much. Talking about seed tip. Deadhead, seed tip, hogefinance.0004. Do you understand what that is?
No.
I have no idea what that is. I need help resetting my wallet. Here are my seed words. Please help. Pandemic, hoax, dumb, mask, mind control. Oh, critical inception. That was good. Sheeple gay Fauci scam. Deadhead, Dogecoin was worth less than a penny 4 months ago. Now it's up 750%. I bought a little Doge this week and it went down by 30%. What do you think? Is it going to go back up?
It might.
Yeah, I think so. I just put a little bit in to be able to have it in my Blockfolio app so that I could kind of be part of the fun. But certainly it isn't anything, a meme coin isn't anything that has a use case. So
well, do you know anything technically about Doge? You know what the difference is from Bitcoin?
No, just that it's a meme coin and no one knows why it's increasing in value.
No, it's basically it works the same way pretty much. I believe it was a fork of Litecoin initially, and they just how Bitcoin goes through halvings.
Yeah,
there's no halvings, I think, on Doge. So there's no supply cap. So instead of or is there a supply cap? I don't remember. But basically it's just there's infinite inflation.
Okay.
So that's basically the difference from what I understand.
Which means what to me? Infinite inflation means that
it means people like Bitcoin because there's a hard cap of 21 million coins, so it's sound money. And Dogecoin is just like, we're just gonna release a bunch of coins and it'll be fun to trade with.
So I'm a visual guy. I always have to ground things in pictures. Otherwise, I don't understand it. So Dogecoin, let's say that you get that perfect cup of coffee. You figure out your coffee maker where it makes that perfect cup. And that's Bitcoin. That perfect cup of coffee is never going to change. But with Doge, somebody could add more water to it at any point in time and dilute it. Is that right? So
maybe, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just so the value of your investment could be diluted with the more.
Well, it's not an investment. Dogecoin is not an investment.
Right. Well, yeah,
like the whole entire purpose of it is to trade it casually.
It's a fun. It's gambling.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you buy some Doge, put it on a phone wallet, and go give it out to people. That's what you're supposed to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. Trade Ogre is good. No KYC. Okay. Thank you, Critical Inception. R broke $3 today. I wonder where it can go. A lot more details than they're saying, folks. Do your research, figure it out for yourself. If you make, well, one thing, Deadhead, I will tell you that, we're just getting up to the plate and taking a swing. We're not professionals at this stuff, so we're just trying. If we can simplify anything for one person, then, we've done our job. You get what you pay for. I used Trade Ogre and downloaded their wallet. Critical Inception. I'm pretty sure I know who you are. And I love you. Pirate 10x for me, conservatively. Humble brag. Nice, Rito. Congratulations on that. That's awesome. I love seeing that. Let's hope it does it again. Send your BTC to the Trade Ogre, then buy R with your BTC, then send your R to your computer wallet. Voila. So that seems really, really simple. That is perfect. When I was ready to start trading, I bought 3 new computers and they were very powerful to start off. And everything works flawlessly. Security is key. Once you find out that the sky's the limit. Okay, that's a good point. Can you buy Bitcoin with R? You can't buy it. You could trade it, I presume. Right, Dan?
Yeah.
It's just like you could exchange it, not trade it. You could exchange it.
Like if you have R and you want to get Bitcoin.
Yeah,
you can do that.
So I think, someone's strategy that I spoke to today is they basically, sent some Bitcoin, got R, and recently, and it doubled, and they went and they got their Bitcoin back, and now they have a bag of R. So because, it went the right direction. So that's awesome. How does BISC work? We don't know. Does anyone have Binance? I do, and want to make an account so that I can trade LBC. Figured out I might, no. How do I retrieve mined BTC from an old dead computer? Do you have any suggestions there, Dan?
Retrieve your BTC from an old dead computer? Well, if the computer just doesn't boot anymore, you need to pull out the hard drive and go plug it into another computer and dig through it until you find the private key, find the wallet file. And then you would import that into another fresh wallet on a new computer, and hopefully it'll be there.
Alternatively, you can pray, and I think whoever resurrected Jesus might resurrect your BTC. I don't know. I might be pushing a little bit. I can't get my Monero out of the Atomic wallet. I keep getting Block Explorer is currently unavailable. What can I do to free my Monero and send it to my Monero wallet? Ooh, what do you think, Dan?
Can't connect to an Explorer?
I can't get my Monero out of my Atomic wallet. I keep getting a message that's Block Explorer is currently unavailable. What can I do to free my? I don't know, man.
I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with that wallet. It sounds like an internet connection issue.
DTRH, you bastard. You keep driving the average up. Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Prediction of R by year end. What do you think, Dan?
I don't know. I don't want to make predictions.
Okay. Future, maybe we could have a rookie walkthrough of either non-KYC fiat on-ramp or Coinbase or some sort of fiat on-ramp. ATM Bitcoin on-ramp screenshot talk session, maybe. We could do that. We could do that. See, we're making this up as we go along. So that's good feedback that you're looking for. So we're a little more interactive and actually show you. But I will tell you that it's a quick YouTube search, and you'll have people that are way better than certainly me of being able to walk you through this stuff that have really succinct videos. You can find anything on YouTube if you just search for it.
Yeah, there's plenty of beginner guys on YouTube.
Right. Okay. Transfer R from Trade Ogre to what wallet? So how do you?
So that's where you need to go to the pirate website, download their wallet.
Okay.
Either their full node or their light wallet.
Got it. Okay. So pirate.black, that's where we should all go. So if Dave DTRH, if he is driving the price up, so is there not that much volume then if one person can drive up a coin price?
What are you asking?
Okay, so I have a friend who is taking some Bitcoin and buying pirate with it. And as he's buying it, the price is going up. So, on Coinbase, if you spend a Bitcoin on something, you're not going to move the needle. But with pirate, it looks like you do.
I don't think it's, I don't know. It depends how much he's got. I don't know how rich he is. He does a lot, and maybe, I don't know.
Okay. Well, high class problem. DTRH. All right. That's the end of the chat. So, hey, we hit it hard for 2 hours, my friend. So good job. Thank you, Dan. I really appreciate it. That was fun. We will do it again. Let's see. There we go. Critical Inception, Pirate Black Wallets. There we go. There's a link. So you have anything to close, Dan?
Not really.
Where can people find you? Are you do you have your own Telegram or anything, or?
Yeah, I've got a Telegram channel. I post some stuff too once in a while. You can go to my website. It's dankid.me, and there's a sign up on there. And if anybody wants some help with something, like I said, I do consultations on a limited basis. So
excellent. So DANKIDD.me is your website. Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, and then from there they can get in contact with you if they want some hand holding and to explore that. So, and for those of us who have experienced Dan in the Telegram chats and such, he's just really good and really patient. So, thank you, Dan. I really appreciate it. And everybody, hey, they're saying no wrench for Dave, I can't figure out how to frickin' do a wrench. Because I'm not signed in. Well, I don't know how that. Okay, we're gonna get Dave a wrench, guys, and Art a wrench. I realized I'm not signed in, so that's my bad. It doesn't know that I exist then, so, and that's probably better for everyone involved. Okay, I wish everyone a happy Saturday night and a good Sunday, and we will see you guys again next week, and maybe you can come on a walk with me at some point during the week as well. All right, Dan, thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right.